All right. So we're done with our ride, and we're right now just gonna ride out to the pond over here. It's not that far. We're gonna check that out a little bit. Maybe see some deer. I got my camera pointing down right now, just for something a little different. That's the setup. We're connected to our phone. I got my speedometer, odometer, what have you. And then I have my right here I have my handlebar mount that we took the other camera off. We're just gonna check out this pond here. It's right here. It seems like it's growing in a little bit. We're gonna walk it from here. We walk from here. Okay, let's see what kind of picture we have here. Let's move it up a little bit. I think it'll be pretty straight. So it doesn't appear that they mow down this little pathway here. The thicket just got hit with a grasshopper. You will see deer in here because they come to this pond to drink, I assume. There's a lot of shady areas nearby for them to pop out of the woods and get a drink, and they can get back in. There is an off-road trail that goes through this thing, but I'm not ready for that. And actually my bike isn't really good for that because I've got high pressure tires and skinnier tires. Wouldn't hold up very well in here. You really need a nice full suspension 29 for your best bet at doing off-road. Oh, this is really growing in since the last time I was here. This was all flat except for certain areas. These weeds were all down. Looks like the pond has got algae on the surface. Slow this down a little bit. I'm seeing graininess, probably because I'm in the shade here, because this is all low light. That'll be a good test. Let's get stuck on something. Got a branch in the spokes. You don't want that to turn around and get hung up in a spoke. Okay, so we're going to be coming out of the shade a bit. See how it looks. Oh, this pond is completely covered with algae. So now we know what the deal is with this pond. Earlier in the year it was clear. but it's all growing in with algae now. And technically you could still fish if you plop something under the surface. But I haven't caught anything there. No bluegills or anything. So, but I'm sure there's something in there. Maybe some carp. Let's see if we see any movement on the surface of this water here. Did I just hit? I thought I just hit a puddle, but I think something just jumped in the water right here. I'm kind of crooked here. Let's see if I stand straight. Trying to get this a little straighter. It's pretty hard to tell. That's not grass. That's pond. I don't have anything in my hand that I could toss in there, like a rock or something. Toss it in there. I heard something splash over here though. We're gonna go out into this open field really quick. Because I have seen deer in here. There's an open field, but the weeds are going to be pretty high right now. The deer come out into this field to graze. The pedal keeps moving. But we're in this blotchy, low light conditions here, so I don't know how well this camera will do. This is really growing in here. This would be difficult if you're trying to ride off road. I don't know how it is in the actual woods on the dirt trail. It's a bit warm for deer to be walking around in here. I'm sure they're in the shade. Let's start heading back. So I think it's not too bad as long as you don't hit bumps when you're in these low light situations. The stabilization has a hard time with it, but how are you going to do that? It's always bumps. Here's a little bit of light here. I'm getting some notifications. Whew. Let's see what's up. Phone was telling me my fingerprint was dirty, so I haven't touched it. I think it might have got a little damp. That's interesting. Nephew's checking out a bike that's for sale. Just in case a deer pops out. I really need to get my front axle on this bike looked at though, because I have to tighten it real tight or it seems like it. I get some clicking. I'm thinking it's a bearing. The bearings aren't set quite right, either too tight or too loose. And I just had that done, not recently, but I have had it done on that wheel. And the one place I took it to, they made it super tight for some reason. They obviously didn't know how to adjust axle bearings, where when you turned it, it would just bind up and just keep binding up. You could feel it, like it was. I mean, if you know what it feels like when bearings are binding up, this is ridiculous. This is way too tight. But you have to. It's real difficult to get it in the right exact spot to where there's no play and there's no bind. It takes a kind of a little skill issue to get it done. So I redid it myself to where I thought it was good, but I don't know if we want to walk that way, because that's kind of the long way out. We'll see how it is. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone ride off-road on this trail. But I see a lot of mountain bikes that could definitely handle it. Like the guy that was just coming, he had a pretty serious mountain bike. But maybe you just don't see him. I mean, I could do the easy sections, but if I start hitting some hills and dirt and stuff, I'm not going to last very long. Let's see. Yeah, our battery's at 25. I'm seeing some graininess in the shade here, but this is what we're testing. So it's basically a shortcut going through here. Plus, some walking never hurts. All right, so we got some sun. Little sun for the camera. Not seen any animals, but it's awfully warm for something to be walking around in the sun. They'd be more apt to be in these woods in the shade. There's definitely deer in here. Pretty much all the local woods, there's some deer. All right, so now we're going into the deep forest. I've actually seen deer in here. Oh, there's a jump here that I wouldn't want to take. Not in this shape. Maybe next year. if I can get myself back in condition. So this is low light here, but it's consistent low light. So I don't know how the camera's going to handle that, because it's basically shade. It's not like blotchy. Let's see if there's a little cut through here to get us back on the trail. I think we'll just walk it back, just to get some walking in too. This looks like it'd be a good trail though. It doesn't look like it's overly difficult. Looks like something I could handle. We're gonna wait for some people to walk by here. I don't think they're gonna come in here. Take a little drink break. Oh man, there's a whole, we just ran into like a ant farm here. They're doing work. I guess they were thinking about coming this way. Maybe he saw the closed when wet sign, but he didn't see it all the way through. Or maybe he just wanted to take a look. I don't know. Definitely not wet. Check out this little marsh here. See how much. We're down to 25%. We got about 17 minutes.